Welcome back to Vidal's Bar. Today we're diving into the world of ultra-luxury whiskey. You know, the kind that makes you want to build a bigger shelf. These bottles are not just drinks. They are works of art, collectibles and investments. We're talking about liquid gold that could buy you a small island, or at least a really nice boat. Curious to know which whiskies are the most expensive? Let's raise a glass to the top 5. All right, whiskey lovers, buckle up. We're jetting off to Japan with the top 5, the land of the rising sun and rising whiskey prices. We're talking about the Yamazaki 55-year-old. This gem hails from Japan's oldest distillery, Yamazaki. They've been crafting exceptional whiskey since 1923. The Yamazaki 55-year-old is the oldest release, mellowing in American and Japanese oak casks. Now, the $500,000 question: what does it taste like? Delicate, fruity notes, followed by a whisper of smokiness. It's a symphony of flavor, costing around $500,000. Next up, we're crossing the globe to Scotland, the birthplace of Scotch, for a taste of the Macallan The Reach 81-year-old, our top 4. Hold on to your kilts, because this one's been patiently waiting for 81 years. This is like the wise old grandpa of the whiskey world, full of stories. This single malt spent almost a century in a sherry-seasoned oak cask. It arrives in a handcrafted decanter nestled in a bronze sculpture of 3 hands. One hand represents the distillery workers from 1940. Another symbolizes the master whiskey maker who nurtured it. And the final hand? Yours truly, reaching for a dram of this liquid history. Top 3, the Macallan Fine and Rare, 1926, 60-year-old, liquid gold from the Roaring Twenties. Hold on to your monocles, folks, because we're about to step back in time to the Roaring Twenties with the Macallan Fine and Rare 1926, 60-year-old. This isn't just whiskey, it's a time capsule bottled at the height of the Jazz Age. Can you imagine the parties this bottle could have attended? The Charleston it could have danced? But instead of flapper dresses and speakeasies, this whiskey spent 6 glorious decades in sherry casks, developing a flavour profile as rich and complex as a Fitzgerald novel. We're talking dried fruits, treacle, a hint of oak, and a finish that lingers longer than a Gatsby party. Now for the price tag. Are you ready for this? A single bottle of this liquid gold recently sold at a Sotheby's auction for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. That's right, you heard me correctly. For that price, you could buy a fleet of vintage cars, a private island, or, you know, 1 bottle of exceptionally aged whiskey. The choice is yours. In the top 2, the Emerald Isle Collection, where whiskey meets high art. Now, we're heading over to the Emerald Isle because, let's be honest, no whiskey list is complete without a little Irish charm. But we're not just talking about any Irish whiskey here. We're talking about the Emerald Isle Collection, a whiskey experience so luxurious it makes James Bond look like a budget traveller. This, my friends, isn't just a bottle of whiskey, it's a treasure chest of extravagance. We're talking a Fabergé egg, a custom-made watch, and to top it all off, 2 rare Cohiba cigars. Because why not? It's like the ultimate gentleman's starter kit. The whiskey itself is a blend of some of Ireland's finest, aged to perfection and presented in a crystal decanter that belongs in a museum. But the real kicker, this entire collection will set you back a cool $2 million. That's right, $2 million for a taste of the high-life Irish style. Finally, on the top number 1, the Macallan Lalique Legacy Collection, a toast to time. And for the grand finale, we're circling back to Scotland for the most expensive whiskey on our list, the Macallan Lalique Legacy Collection. This isn't just a whiskey, it's a history lesson in a bottle, or should I say, bottles. This collection boasts 6 stunning crystal decanters, each one a work of art, designed by the legendary René Lalique. But the real treasure lies inside, 6 rare Macallan whiskies, each representing a different decade in the distillery's illustrious history. We're talking about whiskies distilled as far back as the 1920s, aged to perfection and presented in decanters that are practically priceless themselves. So how much does it cost to own a piece of whiskey history? Well, hold on to your hats because this entire collection will set you back a staggering $4.9 million. From Japan to Ireland and Scotland, these whiskies represent the pinnacle of craftsmanship and luxury. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on the world's finest spirits. What's your favorite whiskey? Let me know in the comments. Cheers!